over what the state has been doing with regards to laying the foundation for students, especially from primary, secondary school with regards to ICT, because I haven't seen the programs here.
Okay. First, the state has taken a big step in ensuring that students from Basic 1 to secondary school JS3 do not pay a dime. They don't have to pay a dime to access their results. And by so doing, they don't have to pay a dime to go to school. That's free education. After that, the state is now investing in smart schools so that when these things are established, students can enroll and have a culture of ICT embedded in them as they grow up. This is something that will help the technology of Nigeria to grow also. Other things have been done too.
Okay, I guess this will be the final question.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to know your sustainability measures, such that if this administration leave the government tomorrow, what sustainability measures do you have in place to ensure that all the projects listed are kept running and that there won't be political interference? I think that buttresses the point in terms of what laws or policy do you have in place at the state government?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, as regards that, the Anambra ICT agency is established by law. It has the mandate to take care of all these things that are being deployed by the state. It has gone an extra mile to ensure that an asset management system has been deployed to ensure that all our assets are well documented. Whoever has anything relating to Anambra State is also in that database too, so we can easily track. And everyone is made to sign documents when they are taking devices from the state, so that if they are deployed somewhere else, they can just drop their hardware and move to where they are going to, so that someone coming into their station will have something to work with when they come. These are some of the measures we have taken. So,
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Anambra is the test case. I don't know what category you would advise that they belong in terms of having been the guinea pig. We realize that it's important also to set the time limit for questions and response, otherwise we would be here till morning. So the total of 7 minutes allocated to every state. How it uses it is up to it, but including the question session will be within the 7 minutes frame for each state. I would recommend that we keep Anambra in a class because they've taken advantage of our own lapses. It's not their fault. So we take responsibility for what has happened. The next state has 7 minutes in all. And that will be, is it Bauchi State? Is Bauchi here? And it's good to know the sequence in which you're coming to be ready. So you don't have to travel to come all the way. And once your slide is up, don't bother giving your name, the title, whatever, just go to the presentation. These gentlemen and women have been waiting all day.
Good evening all. Next slide, please. Next. Next. Overview of the Bureau for ICT board system is the body that is in charge of regulating ICT activities in the state. The Bureau for ICT and Economy made significant strides in driving both state digital transformation, and our achievements are categorized into key 4 areas: e-governance, human capital development, ICT infrastructure, next, and developmental regulation. Next. As you can see, in our e-government, you have skipped a bit. In our e-governmental development, automation of MDS management system, integrated human resources development, integrated of financial management information system, upgrading of MDS website, as government domain. Next, as you can see, these are the website. These are the web page we have, the online in our online services. We have a lot of MDAs, about 13 of them, Bureau for ICT, Internal Revenue Ministry of Information, Next, and Nccide, all these polytechnics. We have 13 of them functional and built by local designers. Next. And our government service portal, the VOTI state, IFTIS, that's the Integrated Financial Management Information, Treasury Management Solutions, a trade facilitation portal, recruitment portal, e-procurement portal. All these are functional portals in the VOTI state online presence. Next. These are ongoing projects. Next, we have about 7 or 10 of them. Next. Bashis is a self-service portal where you can, at the comfort of your own room, you can access your payroll system to know the status of your salary, to print your payroll, know your employment record. Next. Human capital development. We've trained about 1,500 teachers with collaboration with other organizations. 600 business owners were trained. You train online and civil servant. We train, every month we train up to 500 civil servants. Next. These are the collaboration we had. AgriConnect, Bauchi Ministry of Cooperation, 3MTT, Bulkatua Center. Next. AgriConnect, next. These are the partners we do the training with, the digital marketing training. Next. Digital skill training. Next, with 3MTT is a collaboration. We provide all the facilities. Digital literacy training. This is where we train more than 500 civil servants every month in the state. As this now we've trained about 5,000. Next. Infrastructure. Both systems have granted zero right of way fees. And again, we have collaboration with Justice Zainab Katua Community Center designed by NIDA. Next, 20, Bochi State developed 20, no, come back. Bochi State developed 20 solar power ICT centers in all local government of the state, fully equipped, ready for smart city. New ICT centers by ESUF, provision of internet for all MDS, using we recently signed an MOU with Galaxy Backbone, leveraging on the connection they have, the fiber optics penetration in the state. Next, provision of internet to all MDS, one ICT sub-center by NNTC. Next. Provision of internet service. This is our collaboration with the NNPC, where they do state-of-the-art ICT center in Bauchi State University. Next, this is Zainab Katua. Next. These are one of the 20 ICT centers built by Bauchi State government, fully equipped. Next. MO with Galaxy Backbone. As a result, yes, the Galaxy Backbone, we are looking at.
Thank you for applauding him. His time is up, right? Was that enough?
Next.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for questions. Thank you anyway. Applaud the gentleman, please. Thank you. I'm sorry, the timer was right on the screen, so they could see that your time was up. No, you actually give him 1 minute extra. The accurate time is in his hand before they started timing you. I'm sorry, but you have time still to respond to questions.
Okay.
Those 2 minutes might help you clarify issues.
Okay, thank you very much, Bauchi State. Please, yes or no answers, make it quick. Okay. Do you have an ICT policy, framework, law to back ICT development and sustainability?
Yes, in every project we do, we have ICT policy. As it is now, we have more than 10 ICT approved policy and framework for every project we do in Bauchi State.
quickly, how many local governments in the state are able to access these services, especially the rural areas?
Yeah, we have 20 local government service state-of-the-art ICT centers still in the state. We have 20 local governments in the state.
Okay. Yeah, hello. Yeah, thank you for your presentation. Yeah, please, can you tell me what support do you give for the ICT institutions in the state?
Yeah, we give them capacity support, security support, and in fact, 247 support.
Okay, my question is, I'm on your website now.
Okay.
I'm on your website and I tried to look at some of the services that you talk about. I couldn't find exact link to things like land automation and the rest.
Sorry, sir?
On your website,
yes.
I couldn't find a link to the services that you put in your PowerPoint presentation, services rendered by the government to the citizen. For example, land registration. What you have in the site is just information in terms of documents. There's no actual link to the portal for anybody that possibly want to access those services.
Yeah, those services are available. As you can see, I provide the link on the screen.
That's what I'm saying, that you don't have it on your website, the link. Your
Okay,
website is your gateway. How do I get to those portals from your website?
Yeah. Well, it depends on the kind of service you want to access. Is it land services? Is it IFT service? Is it human resource service? Of course, all those portals are available in the link provided in the website. There is a link in the website.
Hello, Bauchi.
Thank you.
I also want to repeat the question I asked Anambra State.
Okay.
And the question is, you have not mentioned anything that the state is doing with regards to primary and secondary schools getting use of getting them ready to start making use of ICT. That foundation, I've not had it.
In fact, as it is, I'm happy to announce to the council that Bauchi State have just gotten approval from His Excellency with the policy and the strategy on how to support all secondary schools, and of course leveraging on the existing, we have a lot of existing interventions and programs did by the state in the schools. That's provision of internet, all these ICT centers in the schools. Now the beautiful ICT has now taken it over upon itself to ensure proper monitoring and utilization of those centers. In all the LGS, we have so much schools that have those services, and we are supporting them now. 247 is our mandate now.
Okay, last questions here. So, what measures are put in place to protect these ICT facilities? And part of your presentation, you did not mention anything around smart city initiatives.
Yeah, thank God again. Let me also again mention here. Last week, 2 weeks ago, Bauchi State signed MOU of Memorandum of Understanding with Galaxy Backbone. And again, in the Memorandum of Understanding, the key area service that was mentioned was smart city. And as a result, thank God, they made Bauchi State ready with already 20 local governments equipped with ICT centers, and within the city, of course. And so that's one of the major key service and intern service that Bauchi State is keen in to leverage based on the MOU we signed. 2 weeks ago, it was on the internet, on NTA. Yes, measures for protection. Yeah, we come up with a policy on securing our ICT facilities in the state. That's by using the communities, the security agencies, and most especially the communities are local governments. So we ensure there's collaboration, handshake between the communities, local government, and the institutions.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please applaud Bauchi State, and we'll then move to Bayelsa. Bayelsa State. Bayelsa State. The next after Bayelsa is Benue. Is Benue ready? Benue State, please be on cue to shorten the time. Bionki, don't go that far back. You have 5 minutes. Time starts now. This is Bayelsa State.
Next slide, please.
Bayelsa State, please.
Still waiting for them. Okay, good evening. Please put the slides bigger, yes. Next slide, please. This is our vision and mission statement. Next slide. E-governance implementation, we have the government service online. Next slide, please. These are the government service online. There are 4 of them right now on. Next slide. Available up-to-date websites. Next slide, please. Government Services Portal, we have 4 in number currently. Next slide, please. Availability of internet, we have connected all the MDAs around with fiber within a radius of 500 meters. We have voice over internet IP phones. Next slide. Available e-government application. These are the applications that are running on Oracle Business Suite, Hyperion for budgeting, SoftSuite for salary, Service Desk, iTalk, procurement. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. These are fiber. Next. Next, please. This is our network, how the network is being connected and the switches around the states, MDAs. Next. Next, now my time is going. This is our data center. Next. Next, next, next. Power room. Next. This equipment, the state government have supplied equipment to the secondary schools, government science, secondary technical schools, and 2 universities. Recently, the government have upgraded these institutions. Yes, next. Next, please. Equipment of ICT labs. Next. These are ICT institutions that the state government are using. Bayelsa State Polytechnic, Bayelsa State Medical University, Niger Delta University. Yes, support. Next, please. Civil servant training, we have trained about 600 civil servants this year in order to prepare them for digitizing the state civil service. Yes. This is our ICT village. Next. Next, ongoing. Next. Next. Right of way from the range of 10 naira to 100 naira per linear meter. Next. Oh, go back, please, go back. How to protect. We have CCTV camera, we have access control, we have route marker, then we also have the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps who are in charge of critical state and federal government infrastructure. Next. We have deployed ICT in our CIPMIS projects. Next. We have passed so many slides. Okay, 120, go, no worry, go.
These are the 120 girls in these modern secondary schools in Bayelsa State in preparation for them to be tech entrepreneurs, 60 teachers for trainer, 600 civil servants in preparation for civil servants to be, the civil service to be a digital, then 500 youths in these areas. Yes, next. Teachers in training next. Teachers in training next. Civil servant in training next. This is our budget for the year. In the ministry, we have 68.8% purely for ICT in the ministry. Next. Next. We have been in collaboration with Nccide. We also been in collaboration with Nccide. Next. These are the services, ICT service delivering. These are the ones currently going on. Next. Enabling environment. These are the enabling environment, the e-governance, the ministry, the Bayelsa State Health Insurance, the Bayelsa State Board of Internal Revenue. These are the one. Next. Thank you.
Okay, so are there any questions from the judges? Thank you, Bayelsa State.
Yes.
My question is from available records or credible information. You have broadband connectivities mainly in capital and some few local governments that you are not doing anything in the riverine communities. What's your take on this?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we connect, first of all, we need to connect the state capital where the civil servant force is higher. Then the local government, we just build an ISHA being used by the local government staff. You know, Bayelsa is riverine. So those areas are, we just build ICT center in those places for them to be used, which they connect to the state capital. Thank you.
Yeah, please, can you expatiate? Okay, thank you for your presentation. Can you expatiate on the kind of ICT collaborations you have with the ICT institutions, and also to explain if you have any blueprint or framework for ICT training? Thank you.
Yeah, we have collaboration. I just told you, if you look at the slides, Nccide, we have collaboration with them. We also have collaboration with Nccide. Those are the ones. Then we have a blueprint of which the year 2026, every workforce in Bayelsa State will be computer literate, since the state wants to move to be a digital civil service force. Thank you.
Okay, this way, please. How many civil servants do you have? By your records, you have only trained 600. And how do you think the states will be able to meet up, considering what is happening in use of technology today?
Thank you. This 600 is being trained this year. Previous years, we have been training. So the training is done in this way that we send a letter to the ministry. Those who are not computer literate, we train them. Some of them are already computer literate during the past administration. So those who are not computer literate are the ones we are training. So our target is by 2025, everybody in the civil service will be computer literate. Thank you, sir.
So by your assessment, what is your rating of the overall personnel that have been trained within the civil service?
Therefore, right now, we have calculated about 65%. So between now and next year, we'll complete the 35. Thank you.
Bayelsa, please, could you tell us a little bit more about your ICT village and what the aim of the village is?
Yeah, thank you. The ICT village, within the ministry, we have a smaller labs that we use in training. But the government deemed it fit that we need to train people so that Bayelsa will be exporting ICT experts. So there are many areas, category of training that are going to be, because here we have about 15 labs that we train. So all the fields in ICT will be taken care of in that place. So that by the end of its administration, we have Bayelsa youth being exported to generate revenue for the state. Thank you.
Okay, so let's applaud Bayelsa State. Thank you.
And we will now move to Benue State. Is it Benue? Benue State. Thank you, Bayelsa. Benue State. Who's next after Benue? I would love the states to be on cue. It's easier that way and faster. Borno is next after Benue. So just be ready. Don't stay too far away once it's getting to your time.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Akpandi Tewase, Managing Director, Benue Digital Infrastructure Company, PLC. Here is the peer review for the Benue State Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy, Makodi. Next slide. In Benue State, that's why I'm standing here as the MD. So fully, we are running a pilot OneGov platform with Galaxy backbone. All the government services I mentioned earlier are hosted on a similar platform. And in course of the project, we are going to run a disaster recovery of our own data center with Galaxy backbone. The project is ongoing. 16 MDAs, the fiber connectivity contract has been given to Galaxy backbone, and PO has been issued to that effect already. We are on that project as we speak. So all is here. The Benue State government in policy formulation established an enforcement agency known as Benue State Digital Infrastructure Management Enforcement Agency, BENDISME, to ensure full implementation of the policy in the state. We have a company to provide infrastructure and agency to enforce such infrastructure in the same line. Next, the issue of fiber and the issue of implementation, we are processing a license as a company with NCC to have our own metro and long distance fiber license with NCC, have our own ISP license, value-added services license. The commissioner and myself have visited the NCC to that effect to ensure that the license is given to us. This is to help the state government integrate fully the penetration of the internet services in the state. And we are, of course, on that track as we speak. Next step. Then the issue of digital innovation, the governor approved the issue of 5,000 and startup support for 5,000 Benue youth for us to support them to be innovative and have access to new ideas and promote the existing business in digital technology at the same time. Next step. Next step. We have already started the issue of examination portal, result management access to a unified system for all schools in Benue State. Next. The pension system has already been digitalized, as you can see. You don't need to go to pension with manual document any longer. Wherever you find yourself, you can be verified as a pensioner in Benue State. Next. And then the Ministry of Finance on several projects will have a website to run that with World Bank. Next step. The judicial system is equally online, and we are working towards that effect. Next. Next. The RAM project in under Ministry of Agriculture is the same. Next. The stakeholder engagement with permanent secretaries and directors on the policy of the state is already ongoing. Next. Next. These are policy issues, stakeholders engagement, and the issue of agency education to drive digital education process with education television and smart open school in Benue State is ongoing. Okay. Next step.
We will have to thank Benue State.
The issue of right of way, we have already making a provision for Dig One policy in the state. In all the road controlled by state government, Dig One policy is going to apply in the first quarter of next year in this state. Thank you.
Thank you, Benue. Thank you. You have 2 minutes for Q&A.
All right, thank you.
Please.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. Please, do you have any specific ICT policy on education?
Yes.
Or training?
Yes. And I mentioned about Benue State Digital Education Resources and Services Agency as a policy of the state government, established and approved as an agency under Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy to fully drive issue of digitalization, support of infrastructure for all education sector in the state. The government approved the establishment of Benue State Education Television for the first time as a DTH model to drive support to the education and schools in rural communities to have access to quality education similar to what the urban communities are having. In a similar vein, this agency is going to support all the schools, both public and private, with infrastructure development to have access to digital education. So the policy is already there. The training is part of the agency.
All right. In terms of, I listened very keenly, but I can't seem to lay my hands on what you've done in terms of training for employees of government.
Maybe you missed the slide, and I've shown a slide of stakeholders engagement with permanent secretaries, directors and deputy directors in the public service, in the civil service in the state, to design an implementation framework for the digitalization of the state civil service.
I'm talking about how many persons have been trained on ICT this year, and what is the percentage so far?
The 10,000 youth have already been trained in ICT sector this year.
Employees of government?
No, for the employees of government, the approval for digital, the Benue State Digital Initiative 2024 to 2033, a 10-year plan is already there. We have conducted stakeholders engagement with the permanent secretaries and the deputy directors to design the way forward, and they have already itemized the activities from first quarter of 2025, beginning with the directors, deputy directors, and the rest of the civil service from first quarter of 2025 to the second quarter of the year to complete the project.
So nobody has been trained this last year?
No, this year we have done with the directors, the permanent secretaries, and deputy directors.
How many?
We have up to like 1,000 in number. The last session we had was 500, the last session 300.
Okay.
And the pictures are there for you to see.
Okay, thank you, Benue State.
All right, thank you.
We have it on record that there is high rate of vandalization of ICT equipment and tools in your state. What are you doing to prevent these things from continuing? Thank you very much.
No, you have it on an authority note. I don't know whether it's official or it's unofficial, because myself and my honorable commissioner, we have a conversation with the NCC last month, trying to assess their level of intervention in Benue State for us to take ownership and control, because the governor said, look, any intervention of the federal government agency in the state that has been there, we should make sure that it's functional. We went to NCC ourselves to let them give us the list of the intervention, and we have gotten that. We are going to embark on that support and sustainability. So for me, I don't know if there's any vandalization for now, but we are going for the intervention and sustainability of the project in the state.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Benue State, hold on. Could you have just two questions to ask? I want to know what you are doing with regards to right of way. That's number one. And two, have you set up, do you have incubation centers or centers where people can come and improve their skills? Those are the two questions.
All right, thank you very much. I think I earlier mentioned the issue of Dig One policy as the one condition or one solution to solve the issue of right of way in the state. The governor has already approved that. The DG special project has factored that in all the government construction and all the government roads already, that going forward, government is going to provide docks and everything in all the state government roads in Benue State, so that when you are coming in, you are not going to dig again. The docks are there for you to lay your fiber, and we move on. So the issue of Dig One policy is something that the state government has already taken care of. And for we as a company of government, where we are getting the license for metro and long distance fiber, we are pushing that this should be implemented to ease a lot of challenges at the same time. So the government is already on that track. The approval is already there.
So your right of way is free now?
Very sure.
Free?
Very sure.
So
that's not what is on the website.
The issue of training, as you have mentioned, back to the issue of training, we have approval to establish 23 digital hubs, one in each of the local government across the state. Approval has been given to each local government to provide my company a facility. Those facilities are already there for takeoff. The payment for data center has been given by our government for the contractor to start operation. If Galaxy Backbone are here, they will let you understand that already we have signed a partnership with them, service level agreement on that effect for their data center in Abuja to serve as our disaster recovery center on our project. So once we have an instructor in our center in Makodi, we replicate that across all the 23 centers
Borno
in the
State.
state.
Please note, on your website, the main website, those
State.
e-government services are not listed there.
No, they are already on the other, we have many websites. We're not integrated on the main website, but other websites are already attached.
Thank you.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. Borno State.
The innovations and success stories of Borno State Information and Communication Technology Development Agency. Slide, please.
Okay, so Borno, we have to apologize to you. We have to sort out your slide deck and you return. So let's move to Cross River while we'll sort out Borno. I apologize. It's our own making, not yours. Cross River.
Slides, please. Okay, slide 4. Slide 4, please. Slide 4. Thank you. All right, so we'll start with investment of ICT infrastructure. What you're seeing on the slides are the 9 MDAs that have been impacted by infrastructure development. And those infrastructure developments are as follows. In total, we have empowered the following MDAs in total with about 508 400-watt solar panels, 32 inverter systems, and 52 batteries. Next slide, please. So these are some of the pictures of the solar panels, the batteries. Next slide, please. We also have a fiber ring network, and of course this is to aid and to reduce redundancy in our internet service, not just for citizens of the state, but also for the MDAs based on our e-government implementation that we have put in place. Next slide, please. So we have a data center at the Accountant General's office, and this is where we store all the data that we generate and have from all our e-government implementation activities. While this is at the Accountant General's office, we also have 2 backups, one in the cloud and in another physical location. Next slide, please. This is also the data center. Next slide. Next slide, please. All right. Just before I get into e-government implementation, I want to talk about the protection of ICT facilities. Like I explained earlier, many of these MDAs or these infrastructures have been put and been empowered to the MDAs, and the MDAs take ownership, so they are the first line of security and protection for all the infrastructure that have been put in their buildings and organizations. Also, we have a task force that goes around ensuring that our fiber optics are safe, and as well we do a lot of public sensitization and awareness. We have public available contact numbers and email addresses that the public can reach out to in case of vandalization for our fiber lines. And as regarding protection, the availability of a framework relating to ICT service providers, in Cross River State, we have a law that is set up with the CRISA, which is the Cross River State Infrastructure Safety and Regulatory Agency. They are the ones primarily in charge of ensuring that the relationship with service providers are efficient. Now about smart city or smart state initiatives, I'll then go to government services online. Please, next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, so here is a general overview of all our e-government implementation efforts. Our website is up to date, crossriverstate.gov.edu. There you can see we have a portal for tax management system. We have my Cross River app, which is available on the Apple iStore and the Google Play Store. Cross River Pay Points, these are apps that can receive payment from local governments that may not have internet access. And so when these consultants or merchants from the local government agencies, when they go and collect these payments, by the time they come back maybe to the local government headquarters where they have internet, there is a synchronization with the central authentication system that happens at the state level. We have the governor's app where he's able to see and approve sensitive documents, see the track record of every revenue coming from all the MDAs in the state. We have also something in the Cross River Pay Forestry, a portal, land administration, finance budget, and due process. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Next slide. So these are just the screenshots of the system, which are all live. Just please go, please keep going, keep going. Just keep going, please, keep going. Yeah. Slide 13, if that will be easier for you. Please keep going. These are just screenshots of our online government systems and portals. Please keep going. Next slide. Next slide. We also have a budget management platform. Next slide. Next slide, please. This is the Cross River State app, which I talked about. Now, I just want to highlight that for the government service platforms, citizens are able to file their tax and do payments, vehicle registrations, land and property registrations, educational services, enumeration of students. Student payments are also seen at the state level. It's a whole central authentication system, budget, IRS, GIRA, forestry. For the local government level, which is about the e-government integration, we have integrated the local governments, the 18 local governments. You can also see we even have their websites. So every payment done at the local government level is also seen at the state level because it's a central authentication and payment system. We also have websites for them, for example, ecom.crossriverstate.gov.ng. As for capacity development, just October 2 months ago, the state had done so far 3,000 empowerments of students.
Thank you very much, Cross River. Tarry a while for questions in case the judges have any.
Okay, thank you. You didn't mention anything on right of way and any legal framework for infrastructure in the state.
Okay, so for the tariff of right of way, we are still at 145, and the reason
talking about